Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Randy, and welcome back to my series where I tell you my favorite album, my favorite song, my favorite movie, and my favorite TV show from each year. I started in 1950, we're up to 1953. Please let me know in the comments section what some of your favorites are, because there is one stipulation though, as far as I'm concerned, is that I have to have a physical copy in order for me to pick it. And also, as far as the television series are concerned, since they ran several years, they're only eligible their debut season. So let's get into 1953. My runner-up for my favorite album in 1953 is by Earl Garner, and it's his album, Earl Garner Plays for Dancing. Earl Garner was a pianist, and on this album, he's joined by Wyatt Ruther on bass, Fats Hurd on drums. Some tracks have John Simmons on bass and Shadow Wilson on drums, but it features some great ballads and these rollicking piano romps. Earl Garner. And here's the vinyl for Earl Garner. It's on 6i Columbia. Anyway, but the one I'm picking for my favorite album for 1953 is an artist I first discovered through Dr. Demento, who used to have a show where he'd play humorous and strange songs late at night. And it's the songs of Tom Lehrer. You can see him at the piano right there. But anyway, Tom Lehrer was a mathematician who was also a singer-songwriter and humorist and a pianist who dealt in mostly amusing numbers. He's still around at age 96. And some of the ones on here are, I Want to Go Back to Dixie, which he references race relations. He wasn't afraid to handle some tough topics. The Old Dope Peddler, Be Prepared, the Boy Scout motto, and Fight Fiercely Harvard. He was a professor at Harvard. But you can see the songs there. I did not pay that price, in case you were wondering. Actually, I got this in a whole stack of records. But, okay. Anyway, that's my pick, and on to my favorite song of 1953. Third runner-up for favorite song is by The Drifters, and it's the song Money Honey. They had two Drifters sets. This is the greatest hits from 53 to 58. I also have the second one in this series. But the song is sung by the song was sung by the great Clyde McPhatter after his tenure with Billy Ward and the Dominoes. He also had a good solo career with such hits as A Lover's Question and Lovey Dovey, which kind of Steve Miller borrowed from that tune. And it was written by Jess Stone, and it was the Drifters' first single, Money Honey, third runner-up. All right, my second runner-up is from the Five Royales. This is a double CD compilation called Monkey Hips and Rice, the Five Royales Anthology. I do have some vinyl compilation albums by them, but not with the song that I want to pick. That's number 4 on here, Help Me Somebody. And in the description, I will put links, YouTube links to these 4 songs I'm picking. And the Five Royales, they released it as a single, and it went to number 1 on the R&B charts. The Five Royales were an influential group that filtered jump blues and doo-wop into tunes that helped shape the coming of rock and roll. That's why they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2015. They also were an important group as far as soul is concerned. This song was written by Loman Pauling, who was the guitarist and founding member of the group. Five Royales. The first runner-up is going to be the great country standard, if I can find it, There Stands the Glass. Webb Pierce had the big hit with it. It was written by Russ Hall, Gene Schertz, and Autry Greisman. Originally recorded by Blaine Smith in 1952. I have not heard of Blaine Smith, but Webb had the big hit with it. Webb Pierce is the one that has the guitar-shaped swimming pool in Nashville, and you can see his amazing car in the Country Music Hall of Fame Museum. It's got like guns, and it's hard to describe, but yeah, you can look it up at Webb Pierce's cars in the Country Music Hall of Fame. If you're ever in Nashville, I recommend that you go there. And I don't know if you can see his swimming pool. We didn't try to go see the house where he used to live, but anyway. Webb Pierce, There Stands the Glass. And my favorite song from 1953 is by Amos Milburn, and it's One Scotch, One Bourbon, One Beer. The song was written by Rudy Toombs, who also wrote One Mint Julep that became a big hit for the Clovers. Amos Milburn was an R&B jump blues singer and boogie piano player. Of course, many people know the George Thorogood version, but this is my favorite. George Thorogood kind of copied the John Lee Hooker version where he changed the wording around. It became One Bourbon, One Scotch, One Beer. But anyway, Amos Milburn had quite a few alcohol-related songs, and in this song, a man is trying to drown his sorrows after his girl has left him. And I guess when he used to play it in concert, he used to have 3 shot glasses on the piano for One Scotch, One Bourbon, One Beer. But he was a big influence on Fats Domino and the coming rock and roll with his rollicking tunes. Yeah, Amos Milburn, check him out. Now for my favorite movie, my third runner-up is the great Billy Wilder film Stalag 17 with William Holden right there. See him on the back there, but it stars William Holden as a POW who is falsely accused of being a traitor. Holden is great in this as this disgruntled and sarcastic POW, and he won a well-deserved Academy Award for his performance. Kind of paved the way for other irreverent war pictures like MASH. But yeah, Stalag 17, fantastic movie. My second runner-up is from the great Fritz Lang, the film noir classic, The Big Heat. There's a nice picture of Glenn Ford there who's in the movie. This is a box set, Columbia Pictures Film Noir Classics. You can see on the back the ones that are in the set, but yeah. The Big Heat also has introductions and they talk about it. Martin Scorsese and Michael Mann talk about The Big Heat on here, which is kind of cool. But great film. Like I said, stars Glenn Ford and Gloria Graham. Glenn Ford stars as Sergeant Dave Bannon, taking on the crime syndicate and kind of a dirty law enforcement agency in this great film noir. Gloria Graham is especially convincing as the gangster Moll. And Lee Marvin shines as a truly evil villain and has some truly brutal scenes that must have given the censor some pause back in 1953. But yeah, The Big Heat, my second runner-up. For my first runner-up, now there were a couple of classic Westerns that came out this year, and I am picking the one you probably weren't guessing. It's not the one with Alan Ladd. I'm picking The Naked Spur. Anthony Mann's great psychological Western with James Stewart at his most obsessive, determined to bring back murderer Robert Ryan to justice. Ryan is great at getting under Stewart's skin and making the journey as difficult as possible. It's also got Janet Leigh in it, as well as Ralph Meeker. Just a great Western, The Naked Spur. And now to my favorite movie of 1953. And my favorite movie from 1953 is also my favorite musical. And that's The Bandwagon. It's on this Ford movie collection from Turner Classic Movies. But yeah, The Bandwagon right there. It has Fred Astaire and Sid Charisse, directed by Vincent Minnelli. Of course, he was previously married to Judy Garland and Liza's dad. But I love the witty dialogue between the musical numbers, especially Jack Buchanan, who's in this. It looks at a backstage story with a bit of melancholy that really rings true. And Sid and Fred make a good dance duo. It's too bad that they couldn't made more movies together because I thought they were fantastic. But The Bandwagon, 1953, favorite movie. And for my favorite television series from 1953, I kind of had to stretch the rules a little bit here, but I'm picking Scotland Yard. This is the complete series introduced by Edgar Lustgarten, the famous criminologist. But this is not to be confused with another British series of the same name that came out in 1960. This was originally like half-hour episodes that would be shown before the feature at the theater. It started in 1953, so that's why I'm using it, because I couldn't find out much information when they started using it as a television series. There's not much info on it, but these were taken from real life cases from Scotland Yard. But really interesting series if you ever get a chance to watch it. Like I said, it's not the 1960 series, the 1953 series. And thanks for watching. Like I said, please list your picks down below because I always like to read those. And hope everyone is doing well, and wait for 1954 next.